All right, here we are. News AF here, live today on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Back in our normal time slot.
Ooh, it
Big
feels
Brother
good.
update. Big Brother update going a little long today. So we're going to be here on the Facebook group, and then we will have, of course, the podcast for you later on. All right. You gonna get this turn this thing on?
Oh, let's turn this
let's
thing
slide
on.
right into it.
Okay, here we go. Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Rob Cesternino, back again to talk with you about the week's most interesting news stories for the week of July 12th, 2022, here on News AF.
If the story is buzzing like it's on crystal meth, it's about to be News AF. If the same old news makes you bored to death, it's time for some News AF. Actual, factual news.
Yes, that's right. Okay, we are back here for some News AF here once again on a Tuesday. And here with us, once again, is one of the stars.
I would
Some
say
would
the
argue
star.
the star. Yeah.
Who's arguing?
Here he is.
Who's arguing against
No
that?
one.
Let's see them. Let's see them. Please stand up, of course, for Father Nature. Tyson Apostol is here. Tyson, how are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah. I got my Invisalign braces yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't
For
know that
reals?
was
Let
something
me
you were
see.
thinking of.
Liz wants those. Let me see.
I'm not wearing them right now because I'm drinking coffee. I'm going to put
Oh.
them on after I finish my coffee. So,
Is this
yeah.
a sponsorship or this is something that you wanted to do?
This is something I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've thought about it.
I
Yeah.
got braces at 30. It was a
Mhm.
humbling experience.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Well,
was,
you were
dude.
already married, though.
Yeah. We all picked on you a lot.
That's true. I was married, but let me just tell you that having braces and learning all about braces at that age just seemed wrong.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I can't eat sandwiches for a while.
Yeah. Or carrots or
My
apples.
lips will be torn to shreds by these pieces of metal, and I'll be bleeding on my teeth while talking
Yeah.
to people. As an adult,
Danny's lips are always in rough shape.
oh, they're
Yeah.
always.
There's nothing he could do.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So how and is it getting in the way of any of your activities, Tyson?
Not yet. So you just clip them on. They just like look like a overshield. So you can definitely tell when people are wearing them. You're supposed to wear them like 23 hours a day. So only when you're eating or cleaning your mouth is the only two times you don't have it.
Or
the trays
podcasting.
in.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to put them in as soon as I'm done drinking my coffee.
Mm.
And then what else? Yeah, I got them because my bottom row's a little crooked, but one of my teeth was sticking out enough that it was rubbing the back of one of my top teeth. So it was kind of
Oh.
an issue.
Sounds
Yeah.
sensual.
Yeah. So I
Thank you, Rob.
wore them for 24 hours and
Yeah.
I have there's no like tooth pain or something. Because with braces, you get them on the first day and your teeth are
Mhm.
sore.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
For real.
Yeah, they're moving. Something's happening. This is like, I don't feel anything.
That sounds
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right.
The one
Well-
thing though that is a little shocking
Yes.
is they do have to grind between your teeth a little bit. to
Oh
make
yeah.
a
No,
little
I've had that.
space.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never had that before, and I
Mm.
was like, "Is that healthy?"
It
And they're
doesn't
like,
sound
"It's
healthy.
fine." Yeah,
A
they're like,
file in the
"It's
mouth
fine."
never
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Did they do it with like the circular saw?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
yeah.
I did that for I had like some like they tried to like make room for a tooth that is I have too many teeth, and I was just like, wow,
It's
this
a good
guy could
problem
just
to have.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, this guy makes one mistake here with the circular saw. I guess my podcasting career is over.
Over.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's like a dirt bike in your mouth. It's like, "Wee, wee, 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 wee."
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was really like I was like, I should be like sedated for this.
Yeah, it ended up being fine. Well, I mean, we'll see end product, but right now it's great.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow.
So yeah, that's it.
Now you're gonna add a perfect smile to your resume,
My
also.
goodness.
It's already pretty perfect.
The man
I
who
just
has
haven't-
it all once the
Gets a little
smile comes
more.
in.
the guy who has it all gets a little bit more.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, finally,
Yeah. What's the time frame on the Invisalign?
40 days.
only 40
way.
days?
How's that possible? What
40
dark
days
magic
to a-
is this?
40 days to a perfect smile.
2
Wow.
years of metal and blood.
But my teeth are not very crooked. I have one tooth out of place on my bottom row.
I feel like I got braces in
Yeah.
the medieval times.
Yeah,
I'm
40
listening to you in
days.
40
I can
days.
do that sitting on my head.
It's how long Jesus went without eating,
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true.
and
Maybe
how
he had
long
Invisalign
people
at
that
the time.
celebrate Lent go without
Yeah.
stuff.
And how long people used to go on Survivor.
Yeah, exactly. tell the condensed version.
Yeah. Now that's much shorter than Invisalign, but don't tell them that. Okay.
Yeah, maybe Invisalign's gonna have to up their game.
Right. Keep up with the times.
Yeah,
So,
we'll do it in half the time with twice the twists.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Of course, here with us from parts unknown, Danny Bryson.
Danny, not in his spunk bunker, getting all spunked out. What's
Nope.
going on?
Gear room.
Yeah.
Gear. Lots of gear.
So,
Always
Danny-
buying gear. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was over the weekend in the Raleigh Durham area. I got together with a number of Rob as a Podcast listeners. We went to a Durham Bulls AAA baseball game. We
Okay.
had about 40 some odd people.
Whoa.
And we went to the game.
Very
And I was talking with someone, and he told me about how he actually was a big mediocre amateur fan and also a listener of Rob as a Podcast and News AF. And it was about a year into listening to News AF and watching Mediocre Amateur that he realized that you were the same person.
I'm not though.
Could you imagine?
I'm the different person, and every
But you're the
every
same
every
human
medium.
being.
that's
Yeah.
true. That is true.
It's like,
what's-
wait.
What's weird is that
that's the same Danny.
I often get recognized by my voice.
Mhm.
Meaning, like, I'll be talking to people at the top of a mountain, and people who are also up there will be like, "Oh, hey, are you?" It's so I'm surprised that he didn't make the connection with my fat voice.
Yeah.
Like, normally
Yeah.
that's the string that connects all of this,
Yeah.
this online content.
Like those cables behind you.
I can't believe that a year. That seems shocking.
Mhm.
You'd go that long.
Yeah.
What a crossover, though. That's pretty cool, right, Danny?
Oh, it's way cool.
Yeah. Your fan bases basically converged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a perfect storm of awesomeness.
Yeah, there's no partition in the two circles now. They've
There
come
doesn't
together.
need to be. There doesn't need to be a separation of worlds in this instance.
Yeah. And I think that, and what I hear from people when they tell me that they're fans of Mediocre Amateur, they're saying like the Danny on News AF that is only like a shell of the character that is the Danny from Mediocre Amateur.
Oh, really? I would have thought it was the opposite, because when I do Mediocre Amateur, I'm much more tense because there's a lot at stake, not just
Yeah.
including like an episode. It's like a lot can happen here over the next 12 hours that could result in my death. And so I don't feel as loose as I do. You guys really loosen me up. Maybe that's what I need, is to pregame my
No,
mediocre.
you got to stay
episodes
tight, make
with
sure
you
that you come
guys.
back alive.
Stay real tight, dude.
Don't get loose out there.
Dude, so tight
Also-
when I'm out there.
Rob, let me ask you a question.
Please.
Like, let's say I was like, "Hey, Rob, you and I, we should get into mountaineering,"
Yeah.
and
Okay.
you're like, "Okay." And then I was like, "How many ropes do you think we each need just to become a mountaineer? How many
Mhm.
ropes would you suggest we probably just go to REI and buy initially for
I don't know,
us?"
like maybe like 3 or 4.
I was only thinking like 1 or 2, but Danny
Mhm.
has like
That's
a
not even all
wall.
my ropes.
He has a whole
So,
wall of
No,
climbing
let-
ropes.
Let me see. Let me explain each one.
Yeah,
okay?
tell
I
us.
gotta do this. Okay,
Hold on.
this
Here,
is
we'll go full frame on Danny.
Okay.
kid rope right here. It's,
For kids?
It's meant like so I can climb with my kids. Doesn't weigh a lot. Isn't really big. This one, my longer 60-meter rope
Mhm.
that I use just kind of like every day. These two
Every day.
have to be used together. They're a twin rope, and you'll notice that I haven't used this one.
Yeah.
Because
it's brand
this is
new.
mostly for ice climbing, and last year I only went twice. Ropes only last like 2 to 4 years too. So this one right here is for glacier travel. This one right here is a 50-meter ultralight single rope for fast alpine ascents. And I actually have one other rope that should be up there. That's not up there. Oh yeah, it's up there. And that's my lightest rope. Absolutely the lightest rope you can get. And that's for glacier travel. So each rope serves a purpose, just like everything else here on both sides. There's multiples of it because it goes from fast and light to regular use.
Okay. Well, let me ask you something else. You said they only last 2 to 4 years, and then you just put them up on eBay as used, or what do you do at that point?
They become like rope for work.
Okay.
That makes sense. Like I put them in my car, I cut them up, I use them to tow things, pull things, tie things.
Cool.
So they live a life beyond just climbing. And the truth is, I do love buying stuff. Like I don't buy clothing for myself, but I do enjoy buying gear.
Yeah, you're a gear guy.
Gear guy, 100%.
Yeah.
So
Tyson, that's what I have for all my microphone cables.
Yeah, you have the light one for travel. I actually do too. For my
see,
podcasting stuff.
you have like when you have the money to have options, you break it down, and everyone serves a very specific niche.
Now I have them all in like Tupperwares, not hanging up.
This is my travel mic cable.
See, Tyson, you're no different. Put that behind you on the wall. Just get a couple of those.
But then I'd cover the lion's face.
Yeah, it's so majestic.
Right. Okay. Should we get into our top News AF stories?
Beat first.
Okay. All right. Well, this one covers a couple of different bases that we talk about. Of course, it is a nature story, but maybe a little tinge of fish fraud going on because a Japanese aquarium is having problems as the cost of feeding the penguins has risen. Like so many other things, the cost of different food has gotten more expensive. They switched the fish that they're feeding to the penguins and the otters. And so when they switched to a different fish, they went from the fish that they were offering was a horse mackerel to a cheaper
delicious
to a cheaper alternative. The penguins have gone on a hunger strike.
Yeah, they need that horse mackerel.
It's good to know that this principle exists in the world of animals too. This inability to downscale or downsize
or downgrade.
You know what I mean? Like as your lifestyle increases,
there's no way back down.
Going back down is impossible. That's why people will drive themselves into debt to maintain. And that's why rich people are always like, oh, I could always be, I don't need money to be happy. It's like, yeah, because you've never gone back down.
That's why I can never fly first class, Danny.
Yeah, exactly. I could never fly commercial ever again. It's like the minute a person gets the taste in their mouth for private aircraft, they're like, I could never go back. And they'll drive themselves like, a lot of celebrities do. I
can never enjoy the other thing again.
Yeah, they can't go back. And the fish, it's an animal world issue as well. And I guess the penguins have once again proved that we're not so different than our animal cousins.
Yeah. So it's amazing, though. You would think that, in my experience with the dog, that, we change the dog's food. I think the dog is going to eat whatever.
Yeah,
but
dogs
penguins,
don't care.
Sophisticated palate.
What was the fish they were trying to?
So it looks like it's another type of mackerel. So that the before the aquarium offered penguins and otters ahi, or the Japanese horse mackerel. So it is a type of mackerel, but this is a cheaper type of mackerel called saba.
Oh, well, Danny is a big mackerel guy.
Oh, I can't wait to get myself some horse mackerel. Never had it, but I bet it's delicious.
Wow.
Yeah. Now they found that if they mix in some of the horse mackerel, that they'll eat the cheap stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's also pretty common. People are like, "Oh, I love wild game." You're like, "Really?" They're like, "Yeah, the first thing I do is I buy some beef, and I mix it with my wild game." You're like, "Oh, okay, now I see what's happening here." And this is the exact same thing. It's like dressing it up, horse mackerel, just sprinkle a little bit in there. Penguins don't know the difference.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's too bad. Those penguins in captivity deserve horse mackerel
They
because
deserve the best. Yeah.
they're putting on a performance every single day
Every day.
for the public.
Their
So-
life is a performance.
And according to this article, it's not just that they're not eating it, that the penguins are reacting very strongly against it. Because when the aquarium employee comes to serve the mackerel, the penguin turns away haughtily, according to the article.
Like
That's
Mariah Carey, which
really awesome. Do we have that on video somewhere?
No, we don't have it on video.
That'd be so cute,
That would be kind of cute.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Have the penguin be like,
And the
I don't
otters.
want
Remember, it's
that food."
otters too.
it's otters
Ooh,
also.
Otters also are snubbing the non-horse mackerel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's good to know if we ever find ourselves eating fish somewhere and there's horse mackerel or the other kind, go with
Mhm.
the horse mackerel.
Yeah.
Or if you're trying to eat some fish in peace because you're surrounded by penguins, you don't want them to interrupt your meal. Do not
the
eat horse
saba.
mackerel.
Yeah.
Yeah, eat the
Mhm.
saba.
So the museum is trying to cut costs, and so in addition
That's what it
to
sounds like.
or the aquarium is trying to cut costs, they also are reducing the circulation pumps that they have from 2 to 1, which they say reduce the electricity bill by 40 to 50%. But that doesn't sound great, right?
No.
No, I think the pumps are in there for a reason to maintain a healthy environment.
Mhm.
So if you're dumbing down the health of the environment by 40 or 50%, that's a lot.
Yeah. Tyson, do you think that the aquarium is putting this story out here to shame the penguins of like, oh, look at these fat cat penguins.
Yeah.
Won't even, there's lots of starving penguins out in the wild, but these penguins are used to living the high life.
Double pumpers with
Mhm.
horse mackerel only.
Mhm.
Yeah, if only they could see how their wild counterparts live.
Well, that's what they should have
Mhm.
done. Instead of writing up this story, they should have gotten some footage of like penguins in the South Antarctic and
Mhm.
shown them to these penguins. Be like, you want to go there? You want to be shipped to where the seals can leap out of the ocean?
Do
and
you know
grab
what
you?
your carbon footprint is doing
Yeah,
to your fellow penguins?
Exactly.
How much electricity you're using?
Wow. That would be a real hard lesson,
Mm-hmm.
but makes me want to go see penguins.
Yeah. Okay. The aquarium is not raising its prices.
Oh,
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Why don't they just raise their prices?
I don't know. I think they're just trying to maybe like get the word out about come see these very haughty penguins.
Well, what if you wanted to go to the aquarium, but only to see a horse mackerel?
Oh, you want to see the food?
Yeah. Well, what if like one of our kids was like, man, I've never seen a horse mackerel. Can we go see a horse mackerel? It's like, not at this aquarium.
Not anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, not anymore.
Regular mackerel.
I don't think the horse mackerel are alive or even in one piece, Tyson, when they get to the zoo.
Mhm.
You don't think? I think they're in one piece.
Yo, you're just chucking full on live horse mackerels into
Not
the penguin
live,
pen.
not live, but yeah, I think that a wild-ish animal prefers a whole piece of food
Yeah.
to gargle down. You know, have you never seen a penguin eat a whole fish where they're just
Mhm.
like,
Oh, a horse mackerel sounds huge.
Yeah.
a horse mackerel is probably I imagine the horse mackerel has a horse face, not that
That's
it's
what
the
I
size
picture
of a
too, with the
horse.
teeth of the
Yeah,
horse.
but not
like
that it has the size of not that it's the size of a horse,
Mm-hmm.
just that it has a horse face.
But the size of the horse's face.
So you
That's what I picture, is it being the size of a horse's head.
Wow.
I can't
No.
explain why that's the thing that
I
came to
don't
mind
picture
when
that at
I
all.
first heard Rob say
And
horse
a mackerel's body.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
true seahorse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I pictured first.
I don't picture that at all. I picture a regular looking fish with like some horsey teeth.
Yeah. Now, is this not the same thing that happened with the Subway tuna?
Yeah, it is.
Customers
People
knew.
recognize
We can all relate to this, how the penguin
it's
feels.
in our DNA as beings on this planet.
Yeah. It's like a shared experience that we have with the penguins.
Hmm. Penguins
Don't
aren't
tell
so
us it's
different from
one
us.
thing and then make it be another. This is complete fish fraud.
Man,
They should hire Hint of Lime guy
the old
to represent them in court.
They did the old switcheroo on these penguins, but little did they know these little penguin brains are pretty big in stature.
It's not cool. Okay. I've got another animal story, and this one is from the city of Toronto. And I know we have a lot of
Canada.
Canadian listeners. That there is a new plan. Danny, would you be in favor of a proposed plan that was at Toronto City Council that says that if you have a cat, they need to be only outside on a leash?
Well, I'd like to start with dogs first with that rule.
You don't want to
Even
jump
on
straight to
trails where
cats.
leashes are required, still nobody puts their dog on a leash. So we have a lot of work to do with dogs before we move on to cats who don't chase me, bark at me, come up and lick my crotch. The cat runs away, hides, is somewhat, quiet. The dogs need the leash law. The cat, the thing the cats murder all sorts of indigenous creatures. That's the problem with the cats, right? They go out, they kill the birds, they kill everything.
Yeah,
Because they still have predatory instincts. The dogs are eating garbage. But if we're talking about what animal I'd like to see leashed, let's start with the dogs and let's actually get people following that ban before we turn to the cats.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just explain what the laws are that they are proposing. Bylaws are to be changed to prohibit pet owners from allowing their pet to roam at large in the city, with the exception of cats and domesticated pigeons.
Ooh. So you need a leash for a domesticated pigeon as well?
Well, no,
We're carving
not
out
yet,
exceptions.
but what they want to do is they want to remove cats from the proposed change. And you would still be allowed to have domesticated pigeons, not on a leash.
Oh, because the cats can't then get the pigeons.
Yeah. So your cat would be allowed outside, but only if you kept it on a leash.
Uh-huh. Well, cats are outside animals for the most part, are they not?
They can be.
Danny, where does your cat go? Do you know? Does your cat go all over the neighborhood?
Go outside. It's terrified.
Oh, it's inside all the time.
If you leave the door open, it'll go and check out the outside world, but it is just overwhelming. It's no, thank you. I don't know what all this stuff is, but it does spend hours looking at birds, probably imagining all the ways it could kill them.
Like birds through a window or birds?
Oh, through the window. He just sits there for hours, or she sits there for hours and just looks at the birds and just probably imagines ending their life.
They don't have cat TV where you can just turn on the TV screen of birds flying around?
We don't have a TV. Plus, I wouldn't want a cat anywhere near my TV. The cat by the window is a cat I don't have to deal with. A cat in front of the TV, that's a cat I have to deal with.
Okay. Well,
maybe I should talk Liz into getting some pigeons. I wonder if that would be a little bit better.
Then you'd have to keep the cat on a leash.
Pigeons.
Domesticated pigeons up on the roof so she can send me letters when I'm out and about. Find Danny.
Homing pigeons.
All
I don't
right.
think they work that way. I don't think they can find you. They can just find their way back home.
Well, then, okay, back
you
home
take
from
it
where?
with you.
You
So
take,
you take the pigeon
that's
with
right.
you.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then when you're ready to send a message to Liz,
how awesome would that be? Take that out to the wilderness. That actually would be kind of cool.
You're going to
Put a
get
note
home
on its
before the
leg,
pigeon gets
be
to Liz.
Go pigeon, find
The only
Liz.
time it would make sense is if you're dying and you have last words.
Yeah.
How great would it be to send nudes that way instead of sending nudes by text? You just send a nude.
So what would you do, Danny? You would take a Polaroid of yourself and then give it to the bird?
Yes, wrap it around the bird's leg.
You better hope the bird has the right route.
It would be like the old school way of airdropping a D-pic on a plane would be just to release the pigeon. And then it just lands at random and someone gets a D-pic from you from the pigeon's leg. But that could be an exciting way to spice up your marriage.
Have you considered, Danny, in your I guess utility belts that you take with you climbing, maybe one domesticated pigeon that if you are unable to, because you have no signal sometimes, get the word out.
That's a good idea. Like instead of buying a Garmin InReach, which is what most people buy to get rescued, I have a on-call pigeon in a pouch. The pigeon pouch, the emergency pigeon pouch. And when I've fallen and broken my leg, I open the pouch and release the pigeon, who then flies to the nearest 911 operator. or
Again, that's
whatever.
not how pigeons work. But
Well,
you
it could
freeze dry
work if
it
we
and then add
established a
water.
911 pigeon network.
yeah, that's
right?
true. Then it could work
So I could rent the pigeon from the fire or
from the
police
nearest.
department.
Yeah, from the
Mhm.
nearest
And then-
911 center. Yeah.
And you want to know what the benefit of that is? I can also eat the pigeon if I get into dire
Oh,
straits.
your friend?
Not
No,
my
your
friend. That's
so
a
you're
rental
saying you're getting
pigeon.
into dire straits and you need help and you
Mhm.
eat the pigeon.
Mm-hmm.
That
Or
seems
release
like,
it to go find help.
I think releasing it is wiser. I think if you're eating the pigeon, then you
Mhm.
cut off all
That's your
ties.
only, yeah.
That's
Look,
your
a lot
only-
of people would eat the pigeon if they were super hungry, just because you
Mhm.
need to immediately solve the hunger problem. Like that's
Yeah.
probably
Mhm.
when you're starving, the only thing in your mind.
Here's what's going to happen. Danny A is never going to institute this program, but if he
No.
did, he'd have
Mhm.
so many off-leash cats following him around to go up into the mountains, and it would just be like wild, non-wild, all type of
That's true.
felines would be following him, tracking him.
And maybe that's
Yeah.
why Toronto is instituting this leash law, because the people with the pigeons were on to walk around town with their pigeons and not be harassed by the
You
Yeah,
think
that's
this is
what I'm
the
saying.
pigeon lobby?
Yes.
Finally,
big
like
pigeon.
big
Big pigeon.
pigeon. Yeah.
They've gotten
they
a bad
need-
rap, you
need
know?
to keep these cats tied up.
I'd like to see now some numbers on how many people own domesticated pigeons in Toronto. Is that like
Well,
a thing?
The only person I know that has pigeons as a pet is Omer
Tyson.
from Survivor.
Oh.
What, you have a pet pigeon?
No, I was
Oh.
thinking Mike Tyson.
Oh, Mike Tyson.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought you were saying
He's a
yourself in the
big
third person.
No, Mike Tyson's a big homing pigeon guy.
Yes,
or he
that
was.
is true. That is true. But Omer from Survivor, I believe he has pigeons as pets, and I do believe he lives in Toronto.
In Toronto.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is a thing. All people from Toronto that we know own domesticated pigeons.
And he said me and Nicole should get pigeons.
He said that to you?
He said, yeah.
and
And
what
my
did
wife
you
was
say?
like, no, they're rats with wings.
And what did he say?
He's like, no, they're not. They're actually very smart animals. Mhm.
That
So,
sounds about like Omer.
yeah. So, okay. So we'll keep you posted. But if you're in Toronto, you may want to start looking at some cat leashes on Amazon.
Okay. Danny, you want me to get you a cat leash?
Yeah, why don't you
Mhm.
sell it to my house? My
Why don't you
cat
take-
will flip out when I try to put a leash on it.
Bro, why don't
Mhm.
you listen? Danny and this cat have had a very rocky relationship since
For sure.
the beginning. Why doesn't Danny take the cat on his adventures? Adventure
think-
cat.
I've had many discussions about the whole dog and cat adventure team.
Yeah.
Not for me, because remember, I'm trying to go light and fast.
Yeah, but do you also
Cat's not
want
going
views
out.
on your Instagram?
No, I don't. I
On
care much
YouTube.
more about the amount of weight I'm carrying.
You want
than the
views on your YouTube?
I do okay. I don't need a cat. I don't need a prop, a weighty prop that's just extra work. I don't need that.
Mhm.
Plus, the
Maybe-
cat can't. No, I saw these guys at the top of a mountain last week with a dog, and they had to boulder hop like 3 miles. And I thought they were probably carrying this dog almost that entire length of time. And then they had to do it all the way back, another 3 miles. It just looked like so much
Mhm.
work. The cat could not have handled what I did last week.
Okay.
You don't
Well,
think?
Oh no, 100%. It would have died or slowed me down to the point where we die together.
Well, okay.
we're talking about Danny on his adventures and whether or not he needs a pigeon to be out there with him. So maybe this story might cause Danny to reconsider. Danny, have you done Vesuvius?
No.
Okay. So
Will
there
you?
was,
I would, yes.
yeah, a 23-year-old man from Baltimore was hiking on an unauthorized trail and ultimately fell into a crater on Vesuvius while looking for his phone.
Now, Vesuvius is the volcano responsible for Pompeii. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Yeah,
That is
in
correct.
Italy.
So he
Yes.
almost became the most recent addition to that display. Him reaching for his phone encased in lava and ash. That would have
I
been
don't-
nice.
Is Vesuvius still erupting?
Oh my gosh, some of those Italian volcanoes, it seems like they never stop erupting.
But I don't know
Mhm.
if Vesuvius is one of them. I haven't
Can we
done my
just
homework
imagine
here.
that it is, that
last-
he's been encased in lava?
Yeah, it's bubbling.
Cheap for
The
his
last
phone.
eruption was in 1944.
Oh, that's recent.
Yeah, it's
In eruption
modern.
time.
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. The man was okay, but he was attempting to retrieve his mobile phone while going on to the forbidden trail. Danny, you never go on a
Ooh.
forbidden trail, right?
That's all Danny does.
No, I try to follow the rules.
Goes up in the forbidden zone and flies his illegal drone.
I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to.
Is your drone kind of like a homing pigeon? Could you send it to go and then deliver your like last note to a loved one?
Most likely, I'd fly until it was out of range, and then it would just come back to me and probably land right on my corpse. You know what? The problem, I think that as I've gotten older, I've cared less about my phone.
Yeah.
And I feel like a 23-year-old is the kind of person who would go after phone. I think that at some point in your life, you drop a phone, you mutter, some swear words, but you just move on, right? I don't think I see a 45-year-old going into a volcano for a phone. That's a young man's game.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
There
what
were-
would you guys be willing to do to get your phone? Jump into an alligator-filled pond if you dropped your phone in there, Tyson? Rob?
I mean, we've talked about this recently in the national park. The woman that fell into the toilet pit.
Yeah, the toilet pit. I
Mhm.
wouldn't do that. You drop it into the lion's den.
I mean,
at
I
the
kind of
zoo?
feel like that, especially, and I don't have a brand new phone. I feel like everything's in the cloud.
Yeah.
I'm out like a couple $100, I guess, for the phone. But like when I buy a new phone, especially like I'm at the end of the cycle now. I don't have an iPhone 13 or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm probably pretty close to the end of the cycle for my phone.
I
Yeah,
just
I
don't
think
feel
would
that
go
attached to
crazy.
my phone that I'm willing to tumble into the crater on top of Mount Vesuvius. For
Right.
it.
Well, everybody's a little different with their phones.
I'm just saying, I
Mhm.
think it's a young man's game with the phone.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe he had like a ton of like killer video? Do you think that he was like a fellow adventure?
It hadn't uploaded
recorder,
yet.
Hadn't uploaded.
Yeah, actually, I do kind of get that. I once dropped a GoPro at the top of a mountain. We talked about it years ago, and that really did upset me because I
Mhm.
did have footage on that. So I could see that. Maybe. That's the one situation where I might be willing to jump in to the alligator
Mhm.
pond if I just had the greatest footage.
Okay.
Yeah.
The rescuers have to determine whether or not they will proceed with a formal charge against the group for invasion of public territory.
Are they
Ooh.
gonna make
They
an
might want to make an
example?
example,
Yeah.
right, Danny?
So you think they're going to cane him?
This isn't Singapore. It's Italy.
Mhm. Yeah. I happened to watch a show on Netflix this weekend where flogging was very much a big part of the show.
Whoa.
What
Yes.
show?
It's called How to Build a Sex Room.
Oh, yeah, I saw the
Mhm.
the
You know,
thumbnail for
Danny,
that.
a few people had a very similar rope collection to what you have.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, well, this converts.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even know what's on
Multi-purpose.
that rack. I mean, you probably don't even recognize the
Those
gear.
are hooks and clips and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, let's just
Yeah.
say that every Thursday night at 10 p.m. this room turns into something else.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
wow.
honestly, Rob, I haven't heard from Liz in probably over a decade.
She was
Wow,
on
well,
the
what
podcast
are you
a year ago,
suggesting?
Tyson.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Rob?
She was on
She
a
was
year ago.
Only on the podcast a year
Oh,
ago.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So there's proof of life.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, yeah, for as often as you talk about her, I don't see her near that much.
Mm-hmm. Now, both of you, very smart guys. Have either of you ever been tested or considered joining Mensah?
I wouldn't want to
Uh,
be tested because then I'd discover for a final once and for all how dumb I am. Avoid all tests that judge.
Mhm.
See, I think I would be considered genius, but then you have to pay your membership fee, which is not smart.
Oh, and you think they were trying to milk this baby? for
Yeah,
that
that's what I
membership
think.
fee?
No,
Yeah.
that's what I think. I think that they're like, join Mensa and let everybody know how smart you are.
Yeah.
Only $68 a month.
Oh, interesting. They just added the youngest member of Mensah here in America as a young girl. Her name is Cassie Quest, and she is 2.5 years old, and she is in Mensah.
Okay, is it she took the same test that a 20 or 30-year-old would take?
So I don't know if it's based on IQ, and I don't know if they like that the IQ test for a 2-year-old is sort of like if they are able. I don't know exactly how this works. But like, do they have an IQ test that can tell like, okay, for a 2-year-old, if you can do blah blah blah, your IQ is 172.
What is the baby's name again?
Her name is
Something
Cassie.
Quest.
Yeah, Cassie Quest. Her IQ is 146.
I could beat that. What are her parents' IQs? Is this like also
What's that
come into
name?
play?
That name indicates maybe not as high as hers. Cassie Quest. That's
Yes.
a weird name.
Yeah, but Quest I feel like is a
Quest is a
pretty
smart name.
strong name.
Yeah, pretty strong, intelligent name.
Made me think
but-
of Bad Barbie. The minute you said her name, I immediately thought
Who's
of
Bad Barbie?
Bad Barbie, by the way, is a millionaire now. She
Okay.
was the one that went on Dr. Phil.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cash Me
Yes.
Outside Girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Her intelligence has got to
Cassie.
be.
Cassie outside girl.
Yeah, her intelligence has got to be 145 because
She did call her shot. Yeah.
Yeah, she turned that one appearance on Dr. Phil into a multi-million-dollar.
That was but I don't know if that's IQ. That might just be like street smarts. Yeah.
Which would you rather have though?
I think street smarts.
Yeah. Me too.
So the 2.5-year-old Cassie, she can identify all of the elements on the periodic table.
I can't do that.
Okay. Identify
neither.
all 50 states by shape and location.
I can't do that probably.
I could get most of that.
She is learning Spanish and deciphering patterns.
Yeah, you know what? This is why I don't take intelligence tests. I don't want to know. I don't want to know where I would come out like 110. It would change my life.
She also can display emotional intelligence.
What?
That she
That's something Danny can't do.
Yes, that over Danny. That if her dad is trying to open a jar of pickles, she will come over and say, "Dad, I'm so proud of you."
Wait a minute. Has her dad had problems with jars of pickles in the past?
It's not easy, Danny.
Yeah, she's proud, and it sounds like it's she's a little patronizing as well.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
Yeah. Why don't you try and do it, little Cassie? Let's
all
see
the
if you
intelligence
can.
of the world can't stop her from being picked up by her dad and grounded or whatever.
Yeah, or like, could she open a jar of pickles with that much intelligence?
Yeah. Probably hard to be one of Cassie's siblings.
Yeah, just be so obnoxious.
Unless they're all members.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure if there are any other children in the family.
I take a medieval view of, the way kids get things. I feel like parents have X amount and they can only divide it. So if you've had a baby and it's just peaked mental-wise, don't have any more babies. You're done. You've got nothing left to give in the intelligence department.
But what if you think you've peaked and then an even smarter baby comes along?
That would be shocking.
In a good way?
Yeah, in a good way.
There you go.
Yeah.
So when would you have stopped having kids, Danny, if you could do it all over again?
My kids got a third of everything, but the problem is they've got a little less because they got a third of everything I had, because that's how genetics work, according to science. So I'm so sorry. It's like inheritance.
So if you have another kid, the kids you already have get less.
No, that kid would just get
almost
so
nothing.
little, almost nothing.
Yeah.
So you're saying that
this
your
is in
kids
all
combined,
textbooks, by the way.
your kids combined, all three of your kids combined, equal your wisdom.
I guess I haven't done, all the calculations, created the spreadsheets. That's just how I picture it, Tyson.
Yeah,
Okay,
Cassie will graph it all out for
Yes,
you.
yes. Let's hire this baby to do my taxes and to figure out how smart my kids are.
I like it.
Again, I'm with Rob. Going back to what we said earlier, I would rather that my kids have street smarts and some intelligence rather than tons of intelligence and no street smarts.
But what about the worst combo? No street smarts and no intelligence. There's people like that too.
Well, wash your hands. of that
Wash your
child.
hands.
Yeah, I know that a lot because usually if somebody's really dumb in school, they're like, well, at least I got street smarts. But that's not like a full default. Like, it's not like just because you aren't book smart means you're street
Yeah,
smart.
and if you have to
and
say,
hopefully they're attractive.
okay,
Sure.
yeah, that's a third option. And if you have to tell people you have street smarts, you don't have street smarts.
That's right.
It's like
Mhm.
the first sign of not having street smarts.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, I've got street smarts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do
Nope.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're done.
Danny, what happened to your arm? I saw a wound on your hand.
You okay,
you
Danny?
Oh, I was helping someone move a refrigerator.
Bad idea.
Bad
my
idea.
God.
Got a little wound. The refrigerator was a bad idea. It weighed so much. I had to bring it up from my basement
Mhm.
and destroyed the wood flooring in the process.
So by help
smashed a
someone
wall.
move a refrigerator, it was your refrigerator.
Yes, let me explain. Put it up
Okay.
for free.
Uh-huh.
And in almost every instance where I've said, this is free if you can come and get it, they say, I can come and get this. Do you need help? No, they definitely needed help.
Yes.
Every instance of me giving something away. So this
Yeah.
guy shows up for his free refrigerator, which is massive. He weighs like 140 pounds and is like 5'2". And I'm like, dude, you need my help. So he and I managed to muscle it up the stairs out of the basement. It barely fits. We're like smashing the wall, scrape the wood floor.
Sure.
It was a horrible experience.
Do you wish now that you would have just left it down there?
Well, I'm like, should just smash it into pieces,
Take
small
it
enough to
apart.
be carried out by our children.
Yeah. You
Or
would have
dad.
enjoyed that.
I would have. Yeah, they
You
would
would have
everyone.
paid $50 to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't have street smarts because I took that guy at his word. Luckily,
Well-
I didn't leave and have Liz deal with him.
I paid a guy $50 to take our old mattress.
Yeah.
And he also said he didn't need help. But then I ended up doing most of the lifting for that thing.
Yep.
Mhm.
I think it's pretty common.
Yeah.
Three people overestimate their strength. It seems to be the case.
We need to get a study. If you're collecting free garbage online, how strong do you think you are?
Screw the Mensah test. We need everyone to take a strength test that then can be used on classified sites. Like, what can
Yeah.
you bench? What can you hold over your head? How long can you hold this weight over your head? And then they can come and get my thing for free after I've seen their strength score. I don't care about their
Mhm.
Mensah score. I want to know their strength score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least let those people they should be available for when weaker people want the free stuff.
Yeah.
Like-
yeah. Oh, yeah,
yeah.
That's a good idea. Like a
For a
service.
fee.
Strong
Yeah.
man service.
Strong man.
They could wear unitards.
or woman.
Yeah.
Who that maybe it's like, hey, it's like I don't have a gym membership, but I'm looking for like heavy things to move every day.
Oh,
I'm trying
Totally
to save
different
money.
too.
the
That's a
old
different
Nathan
Nathan
for
for
skill.
you.
you thing.
Yeah.
Where you're doing the workout program, which is actually just moving someone's house. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. I forgot about that. Yep.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
One of our Facebook users said saying they don't need help is street smart.
Mhm. That's how they got you.
Yeah,
now
because if you
I'm
said I need help,
discovering-
you're not allowing them. You're like, oh, we'll find somebody else.
Yeah. So
I'm revealing I don't have Mensa or street smarts.
Yeah.
This has really
Yeah.
been a horrible 10 minutes.
jumping off from talking about people in Mensah. So there was a Texas high school that had their graduation ceremony back at the end of the school year. And of course, you have the valedictorian of the class who ends up, getting the award and giving a speech. However, due to a mathematical error,
Mhm.
they awarded the wrong valedictorian.
Awkward.
How is that mathematical? They just averaged the GPAs incorrectly,
Yeah,
or
that's
what?
how they do it, right? Whoever had the
mean,
best grades.
I didn't even
That's what I
sniff at a
thought.
valedictorian, so I don't know.
I was firmly in the middle of my class of 800.
Yes.
Yes.
Meaty middle.
Meaty middle.
Yeah.
They actually gave the award to the salutatorian.
We don't even know what that is.
Second,
Mhm.
is that second place? What is that?
Second place. Second place.
Salutatorian is second place valedictorian.
They need to change
Mhm.
these names to like first place smart person, second
Yeah.
place smart person.
Yeah. It's not just about being smart, though. It's also about like helping the community.
But it sounded
helping
like
the
it was just a
school
calculation error between
and
GPAs.
sucking up to teachers. You probably get points for all that stuff.
I don't know if the teachers get a vote.
Oh no, but you get points based on how hard you suck up to teachers. I know that based on the valedictorian.
That's true. That's baked in. That's baked in.
Wow, Tyson, did you have a bad
For sure.
experience in high
Yeah.
school?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like you know who the valedictorian candidates are based on how hard they suck at teachers.
Yes. Should they get the 2.5-year-old Mensah young girl to potentially fact check all the
To manage.
valedictorians?
Yes.
Sounds like
they
it.
should. I feel
Mhm.
like it would be under her potential to probably hold that position,
Mhm.
but why not? You know,
If you have a really
it's
smart
insulting.
baby, Tyson,
Yeah.
are you potentially like gonna move your kid to a different high school or like a different town because it's like, well, I know my kid has no shot at valedictorian.
Ooh, interesting.
Do
The
some
two and a
school
half year old,
shopping.
yeah. My kid
try to
goes to
find the dumbest
preschool with the
school.
2.5-year-old Mensah kid.
Get her out of there so she can be top of her class.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's one way to look at it, but it's probably an advantage to be around someone that intelligent.
Oh, you think that they could learn from each other?
Yeah, kind of rub
Yeah.
off a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's
Okay.
got to be some positives to having someone that smart. I think what I would do, like, let's say I had a 2-year-old genius baby.
Okay.
I would take that baby around with the sole purpose of making adults feel stupid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
A shame machine.
A shame machine. So we'd just be like, oh, how much is that again? Did you add that up properly? And then I'll be like, oh, no, I'll have my baby do it. And then the baby will be like, that's wrong. Like, oh my.
Well, that incorporates another problem with kids, Tyson, and that is getting a kid to perform in front of people.
That's true. That's
on the
very
spot.
difficult.
Mhm.
That's
Can-
almost impossible.
Say hi.
And you're like, I
Okay.
promise my kid, my 3-year-old knows
Yeah.
how to say hi.
Yeah, she could say hi. Yeah. But
Yeah,
that
say
is
that
true.
thing. You remember. You say
Yeah.
say the thing.
Come on.
Yeah,
You're the one
you
that
know,
wanted
yeah.
this interaction to begin with. And now
Yeah.
I'm the one doing all the interacting.
Yeah, I'm doing all the work in this conversation. You're the one who
Yeah.
wanted to come over here and see your uncle.
Yeah.
And tell him the story. And now
Call
I'm
Bri-
telling the story.
I'm on the phone with grandma and I don't know
Mhm.
why, because you wanted to call her.
Mhm. All right, let's talk about the story of a man a Florida man who has spent 30 hours in jail for aggravated animal cruelty back in May. That he was charged with animal cruelty after he killed his neighbor's rooster.
Got to keep
Okay.
those roosters leashed.
Mhm.
Yeah, the rooster leash law going into effect.
Yes.
We saved him.
This man claims that he should have the charges dropped because he says that it was just self-defense.
He was defending himself. Roosters can get aggressive.
Mhm.
Choking
Yes.
geese.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Can't you
how
just run away though?
So I believe this rooster had actually killed his chickens, and so that then
Okay.
he ended up beating the rooster with a pole.
All right. This has become a big mess. Some
Mhm.
County prosecutors gonna have to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Chickens, roosters, capital murder. It's all there. Sounds like a good case for some kind of like rural. What was that Las Vegas CSI? We'd have like
CSI?
Yes, well, yeah. Las Vegas CSI just called it. They should start one for like, out of the
NCIS.
boonies where you
Yeah.
get these types of cases.
NCIS hillbilly.
Yeah, exactly. Is that
Yeah.
the title?
You in? Yeah, that's it.
Let me. Netflix a year ago would have funded this. Now they're not throwing money at everyone now, so we probably can't get the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
30
they
days.
stop-
Did you say he already went to jail for 30 days?
Yeah. No, 30 hours.
Oh, 30 hours.
Mhm.
And they stopped. Netflix stopped throwing money at everybody.
Yeah, I just read that recently. They're
Yes,
not just
yeah.
going to throw money around on anyone's crazy
Mhm.
idea.
And they lose a lot of money. Yeah.
You have to have a kind of good idea now to get
Yeah.
millions. from
No,
them.
no.
Okay.
I can't do that.
So the man who spent 30 hours in jail talked about the incident and said, I didn't know to give it a 21 gun salute, CPR, mouth to
That's
mouth. Do
great.
you know? Or call the chicken ambulance.
This wasn't his first time killing a rooster. He's got the
Mhm.
seasoned words of a rooster murderer.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the play here?
Time spent
Yeah.
and restitution financially.
He said he defended himself and he was fearing for his safety. He checked his mail and turned around and goes, he hears bang, bang, bang. He turns around. There's a chicken out in the street. Oh boy, here we go. Turn around.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Did the rooster use a gun?
I don't know.
Oh, he heard a bang?
Yeah, he heard a
Mhm.
bang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah.
There's an attorney in our chat that's saying, as an attorney, that would not qualify as self-defense.
Best part about this Newsweek article is that they give you the definition of some rooster terms.
Ooh, let's hear.
So, spurring. The rooster
Yeah.
jumps at you and tries to rake you with its spurs.
Yep, I know what that is.
Flogging. The rooster flies at you and beats you with his wings.
Cool.
Chasing. I love that I put that in.
Chasing, interesting.
He chases you away from the flock, especially when you look like a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Newsweek.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I did an article with Newsweek and a little interview not too long ago.
Was
And
it
I
about
don't know-
this incident?
It wasn't. It was about a TV show I was on, but I'm wondering now if they had their own like word key at the bottom of ours as well, so we understood what I was saying completely.
By the way,
Yeah.
he's claiming innocence. He said he
Yes.
accidentally hit it in the
Okay.
head.
I do have a interview that was recorded with the man. Are you interested in hearing from the accused?
What's his name?
His name is, I believe, is James.
Let's hear
Boring name, but let's hear it.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
I mean, this guy's harassing me.
Mm-hmm.
The chicken is. Hold on. I'm gonna get everything for this kid.
Sure.
Oh wait, he's going back to his car.
Get his props.
He's,
Yeah, I'm glad-
Is he about to Gallagher this baby?
he's gonna get some props out
How
of it.
did you get report, man?
Yeah.
We get certain reports sent to us.
Oh,
when
he's
things
got
happen.
he's got some props.
This is my dad's leg. We lived out here since 1974. I moved out here about 5 years old. I know every river's got two banks. He's got his side of the story. I don't really care what he's told y'all. He's got this chicken. It's like a pet.
Mhm.
Just like you got a dog. All right. If your dog is aggressive,
Yes.
and I feel like everybody that's watching this should know that if you have an animal that's an aggressive animal, you need to keep it contained.
Okay, and just like the cats in Toronto.
Yeah, that is a real true point though. Like that's not
Mhm.
something that's not like some
That's-
willy-nilly.
That's
Statement.
age-old wisdom.
That's
Mhm.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This is great. Is that it? Is that
No, there's more. There's several minutes more. I
Okay,
don't
I'll
know.
just do it on my own time.
Okay,
But I
there
really
you
got a
go.
good picture and flavor for what happened.
Yeah,
just
I
from
don't-
listening to that.
I mean,
So
if
who
you
do
want,
you
you want
think-
to, yeah.
No, I don't
who's-
need to keep hearing it.
Who's
Like I
at fault
said,
then, Danny, based off of what you know and what you
He
project?
he was able to effectively communicate his defense right there in that
Mhm.
first 2 minutes.
Danny
And
says
he's-
not guilty.
I say not guilty. If you have an aggressive animal, and I
Yes.
feel like this way about every dogs, cats, pigeons,
Yes.
homing pigeons,
Yes.
it's your responsibility to keep that animal away from other people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Stop,
not the
full
animal's
stop.
responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
It's
thing.
the
It's definitely
owner's
not the animal's.
responsibility.
It's
So
your
when you
responsibility.
meet a dog that is aggressive or angry off of a leash, it's the owner's fault
Yeah, 100%.
every time.
And so this was just the result of a bad owner.
Okay.
And not this guy.
And unfortunately, the unruly rooster was the one that paid the
Yeah.
price.
Nothing worse than a neighbor with a pet rooster, right, Danny?
Dude.
Oh.
Unless you get up early
Mm-hmm.
anyways, then it's not as big a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Would I want a neighbor with a rooster or one that mows the lawn at 10?
I
That's
think
tough. I
do
think
you
10.
get how
Would
early do you get up?
Yeah. Would
I
you
get up
rather have a
pretty early.
neighbor with a rooster or mows the lawn late at night?
This is dependent on the person and how early you get up and how late you go to bed.
I get up pretty early,
Mhm.
but I think roosters still get up earlier than me.
They
Yeah.
crow with the sun, bro. as
Yeah,
soon as
so
the
I get
first
up at
light of
around
day.
6:45.
Nah, they'd be
7.
crowing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I've got one last story here that tells us about a new way that people can find a way to keep their spirits up. It's being called a digital antidepressant
Mm.
because
And?
according to researchers in Vienna, they say that looking at art, even on a computer, can improve your well-being. Tyson, the NFT game is perking
Ooh.
up.
It needs a boost, and here is this the boost that it needs.
Study finds is willing to take big NFT money to put this
Mhm.
out.
Yeah. They
Huh.
compare it on par with a nature walk.
No,
No.
no way.
Looking at art
Change
online.
your screensavers, people.
Huh.
No way.
After just 1 to 2 minutes spent looking at an online art gallery, participants reported lower levels of negative mood, anxiety, and loneliness, and higher subjective well-being.
This is similar to 30 seconds of exercise is enough. They say this is similar to the results from trips to nature.
Yep.
Well, they've been going to the wrong nature.
Yeah.
They can think it's equal to 2 minutes of looking at online art.
Yep.
Yeah, no. And online art, are you looking at online art like digital art created digitally, or are you looking at pictures of art from the past, or a combination
Yeah,
of both?
it sounds like pictures of things from art galleries.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you, when you go to art galleries, it's very stressful.
Is
It's not
it?
relaxing at all. I get no relaxing feedback.
Do you take your ropes and tie the whole family together, or what?
I did a good idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or make them all wear bright yellow shirts that say Bryson family.
Well, we went to an art gallery out here, and it was really nice. We were like one of the only ones there.
That's okay. That right there is the difference. You go to a lot
Yeah.
of these art galleries, they're jammed with people.
Yeah, the relaxing part is being away from the bulk of society.
Yeah.
That's where
That's why nature's relaxing.
that's where most relaxing happens. That's right. Danny's right.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 minutes, I get this. 2 minutes spent looking online.
You're
in
by
the comfort
yourself.
of your home
Mhm.
by yourself is probably more relaxing than being there at a crowded gallery.
Yeah.
But is it more relaxing than just like watching TV or something? Probably the same.
Depends
I'm
on the
saying the
show.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it depends on what's art.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. And what the definition is. Okay.
Huh.
Our memes
think I know
on
where you're
Twitter
going with
art.
this.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of different ways to go with it.
Yeah. Are memes on Twitter art? I think they are, but
I
are
think
they
are.
are they the type of art defined in this study? I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Danny,
Memes are definitely art though.
memes are art.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Danny-
let's do this.
Are you ready to take us to your bolt hole once again?
Yeah, and it's somewhat art related.
Oh,
So,
okay. Here we go. An artsy bolt hole, everybody.
Welcome to my bolt hole. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong.
Yeah.
That's right.
I was this years old when I discovered.
That's how every bolt hole should start.
I know, right? I love seeing that. I was this years
I was
old.
today years old.
Yeah, I was today years old. And oftentimes the thing they discovered, I'm like, dang it. I don't know that either.
Yeah, that's how
Mhm.
I am too.
Yeah, what am I? A baby in Mensa?
Yeah, I bet the Mensa baby.
What am
knew
I? The
this.
valedictorian?
Yeah.
Anyway, I was this day or whatever old when I found out that you can trademark colors. This
Oh.
was something very surprising that I just discovered.
It makes sense though. That's why Crayola names all their colors all wonky.
But not all their colors are trademarked.
But some of them probably
it's
are.
super tough to actually get. and it can be hard to defend. And the
Mhm.
reason this comes up is a guy was he had a website
Uh-huh.
and he had used some colors, and he had received a cease and desist from T-Mobile. So you can imagine
Ooh,
probably right
fuchsia.
now, picture in your head what colors those might be.
The
Fuchsia
pink and
and
white.
white.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it turns out that T-Mobile is one of the few people able to successfully have a color trademark.
got
There's not a ton of them. At least
Team of
according to this
lawyers.
article.
Right. So, Danny, is it just one color or is it like a combination of colors? Like
So
if you wanted to go out there with Bryson blue.
Good point. So there are companies like Campbell's that had trademarked a combination of colors. So you can get, if those colors combined represent your trademark, then you can usually get it. And guess what? The other thing I learned, and this is what I found so fascinating. The very first situation in which this came up and the very first color to get trademarked had to do with insulation in your house. And what color do you think of when you think of pink? It was that. At the time, everybody was using gray or brown or something. And this company came out with pink. And of course, it took off and everybody else wanted to use the same thing. So they went all the way, I think pretty far in a court battle and eventually got their pink trademarked. And so I hadn't even thought that a color could be that important, but it does kind of make sense. I mean, and they mentioned UPS. There are a couple companies where when you think of the color, it's not just some default blue, but it is a very specific one. So when you go out and make your stuff, now on top of everything else, it's hard enough to find a name. It's hard enough to find all of these things that make your company, an individual company. Now you got to look at the colors you're using as well. So you don't step on these big companies with their, well-paid lawyers who come after the small guy and get him to quit it.
Yeah. Tyson,
So
have you thought about trademarking any colors?
All of them. I'm
All
going
of
to
them.
trademark all the colors that aren't
Wow.
being used. Yeah.
Here are some that, and you picture the color as I say it. Wiffle ball has a trademark color.
Yellow and white, or is it?
Yes, yellow.
Yes.
It's the yellow of the bat.
Oh.
One of the people who tried to get a color trademark was Deere.
Oh,
Yeah.
John Deere.
John Deere, yeah.
Yeah.
green and yellow.
Denied. They didn't get it.
Sorry.
Home Depot has a color.
Orange.
Yeah, orange.
Mars Bars has a color for Reese.
Oh.
Reese's, sorry.
Orange. Also
Yeah.
orange and brown.
Mm-hmm.
Barbie, Mattel.
Pink.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
3M
Like red.
Red.
for Post-it. The Post-it color.
Mm-hmm.
Color of Post-it. Tiffany
Yellow.
Company has one.
Yeah, that blue.
Yeah, that blue,
Yeah.
which I hadn't even thought about. And then
Yep.
it shows UPS having one, but
Brown.
it shows like a black. I thought that in the article they talk about their brown, but it shows this kind of black. So, and then obviously
They couldn't
combinations
get
like
the color copyrighted for the article.
I just thought that was crazy. I didn't know that would even be possible. Tyson
Mhm.
brings up Crayola, who comes up with new colors all the time.
Yeah.
But are there really any new colors, since on a computer you can slide and combine
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah.
Try Lake Red or Purple Derple. It's
Yeah.
those are just different names for the
Tyson,
same
is
color.
pickleball green copyrighted yet?
It's kind of a floor high res greenish.
You should
yellow.
get the copyright for it.
Yeah, that
Not a
might be a
bad
good
idea.
place to park your car or whatever they say.
Mhm.
Park on some colors you
Mhm.
think might be taking off in the future. And
Right.
just turn around and sell for
Smart.
millions.
Right.
It's really smart.
Right.
So okay.
Stick your beak in every single pickleball match in the whole world.
Yeah, you have to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Oh, by the way, speaking of pickleball, since I'm done with the boat hole, I
Yeah.
saw them tearing up some tennis courts to put in pickleball courts. And I just thought, how upset is the world of tennis?
so mad.
Those sweater wearing
They're
khaki
so mad.
pants crowded people who are just upset. The country club crew, that the tennis courts are disappearing all over the country and being replaced with the pickleball courts.
Mhm.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
very, very mad.
Tyson,
That's true.
has pickleball thought about co-opting the slogan of "Stick it to the man, play pickleball"?
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Ooh, that would be great. Stick
Is
it
that
to
from
the
somewhere
man.
else, Rob?
And I
Is that a
Rob's
slogan
mouth.
from somewhere
yeah,
else?
the tale
Straight
as old
from
as
Rob's
time.
mouth.
Yeah.
Got to
Yeah.
get on it.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, the thing with the tennis players is they're so mad that all the courts are disappearing, but those are the same tennis players who weren't using the courts.
Yeah, it's like everybody
They're all
forgets
tennis
about
purists.
it, until it starts to go away. It's like
Yeah.
kids and toys. You're like,
I was
oh,
going to
they-
use that. When,
Yeah.
though? When? It's been there for 15 years.
yeah, gathering dust. The kids have been riding their BMX bikes on it
Mhm.
Yeah.
for the past 10.
Playing street hockey. Exactly. So, yeah. I understand they're upset because like having something taken away that maybe you would want to do at some point somewhere down the line.
It's hoarding. It's tennis court hoarding.
Yes.
But you can't use the same court for tennis and pickleball.
You can, but it's not great for
Mhm.
the pickleball world because then you either have to do a temporary net or you have to make some adjustments to the tennis net,
Mhm.
and then you have multiple lines drawn on the court, and it's
Nobody
a lot.
wins.
Yeah,
Mhm.
The lines
Yeah.
are being drawn, and the public must choose.
and they're
Mhm.
choosing pickleball.
We know what
And
they're choosing.
pickleball.
Yep. All right.
Good,
Danny.
Danny's gonna fall in love with pickleball one of these days.
Never played it, but I do read a lot about it,
See,
or at least
I-
occasionally read about it.
I think when he does start playing it, he's gonna get rid of all those ropes,
And then you'll
Mhm.
see just nothing but paddles.
paddles. All
I had a
gamma
chance to
paddles.
play. I told you I went to an
Yeah.
actual court, was going to play, but spent so much time refereeing all the kids' games
Yep.
that never actually played myself.
Oh,
Mhm.
do you know the rules of pickleball then?
Oh, we had to look them up. There was so much
Okay.
arguing. And I
Yeah.
can't say that I remember them, but I do remember going on my phone being like, is that a rule?
Yeah.
So anyway, are you going to be playing pickleball in the future? Might as well just jump into what you're up to, Tyson.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be playing pickleball tomorrow with a couple high-level pickleball players, and we're just going to brave the Arizona heat and get out there. And then tomorrow, you can watch me on the Challenge USA
Yep.
with Canadians. There's also Canadians there.
Mhm.
So that's that's a thing.
Mhm.
And then I'll be podcasting about it on The Ringer on Spotify with my co-host Amelia.
Yeah. Tyson, I've been listening to even some other Ringer podcasts, and I hear your beautiful voice talking about listening to you on the Challenge podcast.
Like
Nice.
a songbird.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Tyson's
really-
everywhere.
Yeah, I am everywhere. La 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 la.
You don't want to be
Mhm.
everywhere, because once you're everywhere, you're peaking, and it's only downhill from there. You want to be most places.
Well, I keep thinking I've already peaked, but then I keep doing more stuff.
Mhm.
That's the thing.
You're
Like
climbing the Mount Everest of awesome.
I was completely happy with where I was 2 years ago, thinking that I had just peaked everywhere.
Yeah, that's the secret to life right there.
Yeah.
Right? You were happy
now-
with where you were.
But now I feel like I'm peaking now, but who's to say in a year when I'm, even peakier that it doesn't get better. So yes, that's what I got going on. I will be in Mexico next week for the recording of this podcast. Gonna
Oh,
take the family on
cool.
vacation before their school starts in early August.
cool.
And yeah, that's it. I
Okay.
think. How about you, Rob?
Oh, just podcasting away. Got the Big Brother going on. I mentioned How to Build a Sex Room. Just dropped on Nothing But Netflix. Picked up a few pointers there. Interesting show.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
That title, is
Yes.
that really what it's about, or is that just meant to grab your attention and suck you in?
Well, I think no, it's both, Danny. They
Is it
literally
literally? Okay, yeah.
yes.
about.
They say like, hey, can you build us a sexy dungeon in the basement?
What does
Yeah.
a sexy dungeon in your basement do for your resale? Is
See,
that
that's the thing.
adding
I think
equity?
a lot of this is then you can never sell this home.
Leave again. Yeah.
or
this
invite
house
neighbors
is-
over?
Well, I think that you are going to have neighbors popping in once they have seen the Netflix show.
Yeah. But also neighbors will be popping in, like that's part of it, right? Is just
Yeah.
like a collection of really close, tight-knit neighbors.
Right.
Oh, I
just
thought like
enjoying
popping
each
into
other's
Rubberneck.
bodies.
Yeah.
It's
Enjoying each
dungeon.
other's bodies. Yeah. There's a lot to
Mhm.
it, Danny. You wouldn't
Yeah.
understand. It's
Also,
adult stuff.
yeah, a lot of the sex rooms are sort of like behind secret passages, but it's
Ooh.
secret passages that are revealed in a Netflix series.
So so Danny, you could have used your refrigerator, opened it up,
secret door.
had a cutout through, go in there, own personal sex room. Liz doesn't even know about it.
Wow. Yeah, nobody said that this is a sex room just for me that my spouse isn't going to know about.
Can you Airbnb your sex dungeons?
Yes.
Is there like a site you can go like to travel and be like, I need a
Um,
sex dungeon in Philly.
Yeah, I
mean-
don't know.
Yeah.
Well, then let's make it, because this sounds like a great app to just ride on the coattails of the show.
Mm-hmm.
huh.
Make some
Yeah.
extra money renting out your dungeon.
That's smart.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Nothing. This
Mhm.
this will be printing
It
money.
depends.
Basically.
Nothing could go wrong as long as the sex room is designed properly.
and
and
safe
this is
words
its
are
truest test.
memorized.
Right. What could go wrong with a
'Cause if
person
you have this-
that has this an extra room in their house that they invite people to come and use?
Uh-huh.
Right. That
Mm.
is true. I mean, I would have thought that things like Silence of the Lambs, that big well, I mean, that's going to put the kibosh on secret rooms in your
Mhm.
house. It puts off that vibe. Like,
Yeah.
why do you have this? And why is it a secret?
Yeah, the cleaning fees are very, very prohibitive. I
Oh,
think.
another
Yeah.
great business idea, because they want to be discreet. You can be or start the discreet dungeon cleaning
Hey,
service.
as they're shutting down more and more of the like public sex rooms.
Caligulas
Yeah.
are being
Yeah.
closed down.
Mhm.
So you can get out there and you can give them like a COVID cleanness and promise to rid their rooms of all stains from any fluid.
Would you have like a buffet or a spread for the new guests as they come in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some shrimp cocktails,
Yeah.
whatever.
Some
Yes.
Tartar
room
sauce.
temperature.
Mackerel.
Yeah,
horse mackerel.
Yes. All right.
It's- Yeah, you probably didn't know that horse mackerel is a
Aphrodisiac.
aphrodisiac.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We'll be back next time with more news AF. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.